Guys, right now a major signal is flashing for Bitcoin that is marking a massive reversal back to the upside. I will show you exactly what this is, and I can tell you this has nothing to do with FOMC whatsoever is happening there today. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here again. Before we are getting here into the charts, guys, don't forget, directly from the start, smash up the like button, guys. Destroy the like button, obliterate it. I want that this thing is gluing, you know, so I want to see it absolutely rampaging here, that we are getting here the likes up on this stream so that more people will start joining it, because I will be honest, the last 2 days the views were not the best, you know, but the market is also not the best, so what do I complain? So let's start here with the DXY chart. So the DXY chart is of course in anticipation of FOMC here breaking back above the 108 point level to the upside, but that does not change the overall trajectory that we are still potentially forming here, a head and shoulders pattern. The only thing that we need for confirmation for that is that we are coming down here in the next 3 days. Do we have 3 days? 2 days actually, 2 days. And so we need this week to do that. And this week to come down to back here like 107 points. If we manage to do that, then next week we will go here a little bit sideways up, then complete this head and shoulders pattern. And then by early the following week afterwards, I expect that we start to break into lower levels here. There's no need to increase the volume, man. It's as usual. I don't change anything. It's your settings, your phone, your computer. I don't know. When I later go and check the stream, the volume is fine, you know, on my end. So I don't know what's up there. So anyway, that's what's going on with the DXY. We can expect that here a little bit further upwards momentum into the FOMC meeting, roughly to 108.5, 109 points, something like that. But I don't see it going much higher. On the CME chart, we still need to talk about the CME chart because we still haven't reached here the 104,670 to $105,600 mark here. Only from there, I expect a major rejection in the short term. So this can potentially change with FOMC tonight, that we are actually getting a move up here, even though we will just wick into it, come back down, start consolidating below that, coming most likely back into current levels, and then get later on that move to the upside. So, but what was the major signal that I found here in the charts today that told me that we are that close to the end of that sideways chop that is not only hurting us in terms of Bitcoin unrealized losses on our portfolio, but specifically on altcoins. So, and what I was looking at was Chinese New Year. If you can recall, guys, I had warned you about this like 6 weeks ago, I think, or at the beginning of the month. It is a couple of weeks ago that I warned you about the Chinese New Year sell-off. I warned you about this. I said be careful about this, but like me, everybody forgot about it until it was again too late. So I live in Asia, so I was aware that the Chinese New Year is here going on, but at the same time I was dissociating, how is that correctly said? Dissociating my brain from Chinese New Year and trading and not putting it together, you know. So that was my mistake that I made while I was running around in the city and, oh, this is so beautiful, Chinese New Year, you know. So and not and then forgetting at the same time with all the distraction that I saw that this is bad for the market. So here what happened last year was that we also got a sell-off from here, roughly $50,000 all the way down to $38,500, then chopped sideways out of it and then started to run here back to the upside. So, and I see something similar happening right now in the chart. So here, this took 3 weeks. Right now we are roughly here in a corrective phase of 2 weeks, and We have also here a downward sloping trend line. Look at this. So we had here a downward sloping trend line until we broke this one. And we have the same thing over here right now. We have a downward sloping trend line. And once the downward sloping trend line is broken, guys, once we are breaking it, the correction will be over. This is the signal that I'm waiting for right now to deploy the rest of my money and also the $1 million on ZoomX to deploy them back into the market. This is the only signal that you need to look at right now for Bitcoin and the market overall, you know, so everything, not only Bitcoin. Once we are breaking this level here, let it be $104,000, $104,000, $105,000. Once we are getting a candle close above that, a daily candle close, that will be your sign that this correction is over and that the reversal has begun and that we are then getting the same run that we have seen last time over here after Chinese New Year. So this is what I'm looking out for right now for Bitcoin on the higher time frames. So I will be honest, this can still go on for another 4 or 5 days, maybe even a little bit longer than that. But usually it doesn't take longer than 3 weeks. Usually after the Chinese New Year, which is actually today, so just that you know, it's happening today, then we are seeing these major reversals. When we are going then in the weekly chart, here nothing really has changed. If you're still in the trade, it's absolutely fine. Here you see we are getting right now that buy signal on a stochastic RSI. We only need to solidify that with a weekly close here with at least around the current levels or a little bit higher than that. But regardless, nothing has really changed there from yesterday. So here on the EMA ribbon on the 12-hourly chart, also here we are holding on to the upper end of it, which is in the midterm definitely bullish for Bitcoin. But you see here is the downward sloping trend line that I spoke of. We need to break above that. The stochastic RSI is rolling over, which is not a good sign. The RSI is going sideways. The MACD is also not doing anything right now. So here we are really are depending a little bit, at least in the short term, on what's going on with FOMC tonight. So if we are getting nothing, so that means no rate cut, no rate hike, I expect the market to pump. So that could be the fuel that we need to get here above that trend line. The only question is then, can we immediately hold this and continue from here to rally higher? So in the unexpected case that we actually get a rate cut, because Trump is pushing for it really hard, then expect markets completely to explode. Like explode in a way like we haven't seen in a long time. Like here, what was this? Like 9 days ago here, what was that a candle? That was like almost a 10% candle. So this is what I would expect if we get unexpectedly a rate cut that nobody is banking on. Now, on the VPVR, nothing has really changed here. We are also holding here that upper cluster currently. That is giving us support. The upper cluster is acting as resistance. We did not even run into this here over the last 3 days. The last time when we were up, 2 days, last 2 days. So 3 days ago, we were up there and got directly hammered back below it. So this is right now the most crucial resistance area. And here you see again that is in alignment with what I said earlier, $104,000, $105,500. This is what we need to crack to get here continuation and a bigger reversal. So here the trade setup that I had given you on the 30 minutes chart is still in play, guys. It's still in play for a really simple reason. The trade did not really yet activate, you know. So I said we need at least some candle closes above that trend line here above the entry level to enter this. We got here a fake out, and since then we are below it again. So I'm still in my trade. I still dollar cost average to the downside. I'm gonna show it to you also here in a moment. So, but as long as this downward sloping trend line is holding, if you are already in that trade or have opened a trade around the trend line, you are fine. You know, you should get worried once we are breaking here, let it be $101,000. You know, so when we get here below $101,000 on the shorter time frames, that is where you start to worry, but not before that. When we go into the MDX algo scalp gradients, Here we are still in a blue phase, in a dark blue phase, so that should normally turn purple again. In the meantime, we still can chop here a little bit sideways before this is happening. And you know, when we are starting to get here into a purple phase, that means price is heating up again. We are starting to push here back to the upside. So here on the react indicator, also this this wave line that we are forming here is something that I don't really like. I have rarely seen that. Rarely seen that on the react indicator. But usually when this is occurring, you get a small flush. And that means also price-wise, you get a small flush. And then you get continuation to the upside. So I hope it's not happening. And I will be proven wrong here. But in the past, that's what usually occurs. And don't forget, only because we have here these two dot plots that are usually marking the major reversal back to the upside doesn't mean that we cannot go a little bit lower, like over here, you know. So that would here be now the same case, that we could potentially run back here into that bigger order block cluster in blue, where we currently have strong support, and only from there get then a higher low and continuation to the upside and scratching roughly around $100,000 one more time. But even if that would be happening, it would be most likely really short-lived, just with a wick and come straight back up from what I'm seeing currently. So now on ZoomX, I will get ready. I will get ready here tomorrow morning, my morning when I wake up. That's like 4 hours after FOMC. Then most of the market has digested what happened during FOMC. That is when I gonna go here and pounce and set my orders. I don't want to do it before because I don't know what the outcome will be from FOMC. So if we are starting to turn around and rally to the upside, I have no problem with buying higher. If we are coming lower than what I think, then I will wake up and will be really happy to be able to actually buy lower than what I'm expecting. So, and exactly for that reason, I'm not doing anything with that, you know. So it was not easy to get to $1 million here, so I rather sit on that money and wait for an opportunity where I'm actually awake, instead of trying potentially a falling, try to catch a falling knife, or to the upside, you know, try to chase the pump. So I rather don't do that. Again, guys, if you want to trade with me here together and follow my trades on ZoomX, sign up. You still get $45,000 worth of deposit bonuses. And if you join that ZNC team, the Nations Cup that I also enrolled in, you can stand a chance here to get $200 into your account that you can actually withdraw. We're gonna randomly pick a winner if you sign up here for CNC, where you basically trade with your home country again against a lot of other people. And I can tell you there's not a lot of competition, so there's a high chance to actually walk away with some money here. Then on the liquidation levels, here's something that gives me a little bit of hope that we are, as I mentioned earlier, that we are getting here a nice move to the upside. And that is the high leverage liquidity on the short side that has built up here all the way up to $106,600 approximately. So once we are tapping here into $103,000 approximately, we should trigger a short squeeze all the way up to $105,400. From there, I would expect a small rejection, and then potentially we go for all the rest of the high liquidity here to $106,700, $107,000. Again, depending on what's happening on FOMC, we could get straight a spike up here just to take all that liquidity, come back down, and continue to chop sideways for a couple of days before we then get here the next leg to the upside. On the liquidation heat map, you see here more or less the same thing what I just explained with the liquidation levels. Here you see $104,000 is the level from where we're going to trigger a short squeeze, and that can go all the way up to $107,000, $107,600. There I would see here the first major stop for Bitcoin and a potential reversal back to like $106,000, $105,000, then some consolidation and continuation. But you see here below us, there's not really a lot of liquidity. All the liquidity is concentrated above us, and that means the directional move is to the upside. Everything else is just noise. All this chopping around that we see currently between $101,000, $102,000 is only noise for me, because I know we are going soon to the upside to take all this liquidity that's stacked up here. That's why I don't get shaken out, you know. So if my one of my trades goes down another $2,000 in unrealized loss, I don't care. I keep adding to this trade because I know this liquidity has to be taken here really soon, and then it will pay off. And for that simple reason, I'm also ignoring the fees that I'm paying right now on this trade. So here on the daily chart, we are still above the 21 moving average, which is definitely bullish for Bitcoin. You see here the stochastic starts also slightly to turn around right now. The RSI is still pointing to the upside, even if I remove this line. Let me remove this line. You can still see this here pretty good. So there, you see here the stochastic slightly turning around. So based on stochastic, I would say give it another 24, 48 hours. Then this turns around into a buy signal, and then we could potentially see the first attempt to break here $104,500, $105,000. And that, yeah, that might be the time window that I see here currently. So now when we go into Bybit, you see here my Bybit trade is currently underwater. The trade was in profit for a really long time here over the last, I don't know, 3 days or something. Now it's back in a loss, but it's so slight, you know. So if we go up $200, I'm again break even, you know. So it doesn't really matter the that small amount that I'm here in a loss. So again, if we come down here a little bit lower, I would just keep adding to it as I did here on every single move here to the downside. I added here, I added there, I added there, I added here, I added here. Here I missed it, but I would have added also there. So now I'm waiting if we're coming a little bit lower that I can add again. Actually, let me add now a little bit again. So there you go. See, I added here now in that one. If we come here back down here, I'm gonna add here again. You know, I keep adding, guys. You know, so I keep adding until we go back to the upside, because it is definitely happening. So if you want to trade with me on Bybit, guys, and get your account funded with $500, sign up with the link in the description, guys, and you still get a free airdrop position. I think until the end of next month it's valid, or 1st of March or something. So make sure that you make use of that. I'm gonna pick another winner to get funded here, multiple potentially, 2 or 3 winners. By when I gonna do that? I'm gonna do that. Let's do that on Sunday. On Sunday, I'm gonna do that. So Sunday, another thing about Sunday, I will be not streaming on, and also no video on Friday, because I will be not here. I will be traveling. But then Saturday, Sunday, you will get a video, and Monday, I think, yes, you will also get a stream, but it will be a little bit later than usual, because I will be going back, you know, so going back from where I'm actually going over the weekend. So just that you guys know, and you have a heads up, you know. So, but on Sunday, we're gonna get here some Bybit accounts funded. If you sign up there and deposit $100, guys, you know, so that's all what you need to do. So go and get some accounts. So now here with the Bitcoin dominance, the dominance is of course rampaging back to the upside. That's why altcoins bleed here a lot today. Again, as long as we are not breaking above that upward sloping resistance line here, I'm not concerned with the dominance going here a little bit higher. And especially as long as we're not breaking this lower high over here. And let's see what's happening here. But this looks to me like potentially we are forming here, what is it called again? An evening star pattern. Yes, so an evening star pattern where we have here this doji candle from today, and tomorrow you're going to get a nice red candle to the downside. And that will give relief to altcoins and potentially mark also major reversal. I'm going to show you some altcoins here in a moment where I think that they are really close, like 24 hours close to bounce back to the upside. So here with the total free market cap. You see here we are following that fracture that I drawn here yesterday or the day before that it was. I cannot remember anymore. So we are more or less following this here. So here by next week we should get a nice move back to the upside and get major relief for most of the altcoins. So here Ethereum again does not look really good here. I would expect, depending on what's happening with FOMC and also just the way how the candles are looking here, this looks horrible. I would expect one more move to the downside. So this move can go below $3,000. So just that you know, guys, that's what I would be expecting. Even though it will be really quick, you know, so we will not last long there. But a move below $3,000 might be here right now in the cards, you know. So unless there is something else happening here. Yeah, okay, the daily is not looking bad. Yeah, but the 4-hourly is looking bad, you know. So if I see something like this, you know, so when I see something like this, I know there's another leg coming to the downside. So at least back to like $3,000. Like I said, potentially even a little bit lower than that. So again, guys, this is a huge opportunity. If you want to fill up your Ethereum bags and we go here closer to $3,000, I would buy as much as I can, you know. So because we will not go, let's say, to like $2,500 or something like that, you know. So but like 2,900, 3,000, you know, so in that range, I would buy as much as I can. Solana is still here in that green box, but also here the 4-hourly chart looks exactly like Ethereum, really bad. And you have now here this downward sloping resistance line that is also giving us a headache for Solana. So we need to break that here at $233 to get continuation back to $249 into the next major resistance. Once we are breaking this downward sloping trend line, also here I expect that we are shooting straight above that resistance. Here, the stochastic RSI is in the meantime pointing to a scenario where we come back one more time into this underlying major support level here of $205 to $212. So I would set some limit orders from $215 all the way down to like $206 if I would be looking for a Solana trade or add to a Solana trade currently, because on the shorter time frames definitely are pointing to a little bit more downside before we are reversing in the next coming hours. Then Aptos, that falling wedge pattern is still intact here. I would be still waiting for a move here above $7.60 before entering a trade. But here you see already on the daily chart, we are getting a buy signal on stochastic. The RSI is slightly pointing up. The MACD potentially turning around here by tomorrow. So this might be your bottoming candle that we are getting here today. And tomorrow you get that pump back to the upside. So and I can tell you, usually when Aptos gets a reversal pump, it is quite a move, you know. So I would expect here like a 10-15% move once we are getting it, you know. So 24 to 48 hours. The same with Link, you know. Link is back here in that major support zone here from $22.61 to $23.50 roughly. Good accumulation zone, guys. Now in the short term, also here, when I look at the stochastic RSI, it looks like if we might lose that level, short-lived, and come a little bit lower, most likely hit closer to $22. That was the same what I mentioned also yesterday, if you can remember and recall. But from there, definitely straight back to the upside. So set your limit orders here from $22.70 to like $22 in that kind of range. I think these are good levels to accumulate on spot and also on leverage, and then we're gonna get our continuation move. Ripple is holding up quite good in that whole chaos right now that I'm seeing. Here in the short term, as long as we are holding above $3, expect that we are getting another attempt to move higher. If we lose $3, we will come down into the golden ratio here to $2.87, $2.83. That is again the zone where you want to buy, and from there will then the reversal be starting. So otherwise, it might be starting when we're touching $3 and getting a bounce from there. It all depends a little bit on how FOMC is playing out tonight. But once that is settled, and also the Chinese New Year is over, I can tell you guys that we're gonna see here amazing fireworks. The same with COTI. So COTI is a coin that I start to hate, you know. So when I looked at the price action today, I was about to curse a lot, and then I looked at the stochastic RSI, and I was like, wait a second here, you know, we are not looking that bad, you know. So we are about to turn around. So no need for that, you know. So just a little bit more patience here. Again, if I would have not a position already, I would be either opening one here or add more to a position. I just wait for a buy signal on stochastic RSI to add massively more to my position. You know, I only gonna do it when stochastic gives me a buy signal and the RSI gets a nice uptick here to the upside. That means also that most likely the next daily candle will push back here to like 9 cents 4, 9 cents 5, you know. So and this will be then the major moment where I'm gonna add massively to my COTI position to dollar cost average down my entry. So now I'm gonna have here a look at some altcoins really quickly. Let me have a look here on AVAX. I have somewhere an AVAX chart, I think, really quickly. I don't have an AVAX chart. Oh wait, here should have been, I think, an AVAX chart, and it's a dot chart. Let's see. Oh, wrong list. I was like, what's going on with that list? So there's AVAX. Is this? Yeah, AVAX also still here in that major falling wedge pattern. Technically, we could come down here to like $30.77. So that would be another 7% to the downside. But also here, indicators are telling me this might be the bottoming candle and tomorrow is the turnaround. So here for spot, I would just buy here now, you know, so I would not wait for a potential 7% to the downside, you know. So spot is fine, and leverage, I would start building a position, you know, really careful. Small position size that you can add later on more to when this thing starts reversing here. But this looks also like that in the next 48 hours we're gonna get here move back to like $36 really quickly. So I'm just gonna do another one quickly, only one. So let me see here. TIA and ICP was actually something that I didn't have a look at for a long time. Yeah, I knew TIA got cheap. TIA got dirt cheap. So this also does not look good. So we had here, we kind of still have. So here is a broadening falling wedge. And we are about to bottoming out here based on the stochastic. Might be a good level to open a trade. So I might actually do that. Just need to check on which exchange I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that on ZoomX. I think I'm going to open ZoomX a TIA trade, a small one, just to catch the bounce tomorrow. So this doesn't look bad, and that will most likely move back to like $5, $5.60 with that buy signal tomorrow. So then ICP, let's look at ICP. Or was it the same guy? Just want to make sure here. No. Okay. ICP down here. Yeah, ICP also sitting at crucial support here, and here flatlining. So ICP might be the better trade, guys, honestly. So that is the better trade. Between TIA and ICP, I'm going to take the ICP trade. I will be just watching. So here's also falling wedge, as you can see. So what I will be watching is how ICP will react when we get back to $10, $10.11, something like that. So, but in the meantime, this is like a 17% move. Yeah, 18% move here to the upside. So this might be a really good trade here right now with the RSI flatlining, stochastic flatlining, but about to print a buy signal, MACD losing momentum on the sell side. I think in the next 48 hours, if the market turns around, ICP will be one of the coins that will move really, really fast, really hard back to the upside. Guys, that's it already for today's live stream. I have to run. I have something else to do. Thank you so much for tuning in here. Thank you for all the views, guys. Don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I see you with more money tomorrow.